So 2025 will be the beginning of the age of trials, basically. It's the beginning of the system being like all the truth coming out, being revealed. So that's what's happening. That's what's good. We're going to go through next year. So 2025. Hello, everyone. My name is Rafael Garcia, and I'm in San Diego, California, and I'll be sharing with you my near-death experience that I had in 2004. And yeah, so my whole life I've been able to see spirits. That's something that I've been able to have and experience, and then in 2004, I actually then had my NDE. So the way my experience happened, I was actually laying in my room, and then suddenly this energy came into the room, and then all of a sudden I saw the light, this light that came into the room. And as the light came into the room, I felt all this overwhelming love and joy, and I was just like, it was the most incredible feeling I've ever had in my life. And then all of a sudden, I came to see the light as a portal. So what for me, what the light was basically a portal to the next dimension. So then I ended up leaving my body, and then I went into that portal. And as I entered the portal, the light, I was transported to the next dimension, which for me, the afterlife, it's really the fourth dimension. So as I entered the light, I saw all my family members that had already passed away on the other side. They told me that I needed to go and meet the council of light. So then they showed me that there was a dome and a chamber where I had needed to go and meet the council. So then after that, after my welcome committee, then I saw a door in that chamber, in that dome. It was like a small auditorium, and as I walked in there, I was greeted by the council of light, which were 12 beings of light that they're like ascended masters or angels that greet us in our life review. And they were just like kind of like parents, and they welcomed me, and they said, welcome, and how did you feel about your life? That was like the first question they asked me, like, how do you feel about your life as Raphael that you just had? And I was like, yeah, it was incredible, thank you. And they were like my parents, and they were like, okay, great. And then from there, they said, well, we're gonna show you your life review. And then at that point, I was shown a holographic movie of my life. And then what I came to understand from the Council of Light, from these 12 beings, was that basically that they told me, like, Raphael, you basically, your whole life, that was a school. So you come to Earth to learn lessons. And then I came to understand that each one of those councils represented a different lesson that we're here to learn and to master. So they told me you eventually you incarnate over and over and over and over to to eventually master the lessons, and of course the lessons are virtues, for example, yeah, unconditional love, compassion, integrity, honesty, patience, respect, um, forgiveness, letting go, um, just all these lessons, and they were here to master. And then they told me, and then they started showing me my life review. That we're gonna show you your life, and I was like, okay, great. And then so then they ended up showing me different parts of my life, and in this phase when I was showing my life review, I remember like one of the scenes that I really enjoyed a lot was when I was helping this old lady cross the street. And then I remember, going to her like, hey, I can help you cross the street. And I help her cross the street. And then as I help her cross the street, one of those beings, one of the councils, lit up and showed me. That was like that council represented like kindness or compassion. And then as it lit up, it kind of basically was saying like, this is the lesson that you were, you know, basically mastering in this particular scene. It was basically that you were shown compassion. And then they show me different scenes, where I was able to show kindness. I was able to be, have integrity, and just different scenarios where basically I came to understand that we were here to learn and to master all these lessons. And then at that point as well, the council showed me that the reincarnation is it's actually this is true, and then basically we keep coming back over and over. So then what they showed me was a cycle with thousands of lifetimes. And as I was shown this cycle of thousands of lifetimes, I came to understand that I still have 6 more lifetimes to complete the cycle. But I understood that there was a beginning from the cycle of reincarnation, and it went as it evolved, it keeps incarnating over and over and over until basically you complete the cycle of reincarnation. And then told me that I still have 6 more lifetimes, and then basically that everything is stored in our soul blueprint. The soul blueprint is like basically some sort of holographic projection that stores all our soul learnings, like they're stored in our soul blueprint. And as this, so it keeps record. It's like a mini Akashic records, but it's actually in our soul or in our hearts. I came to understand that the heart is actually it's like the mini Akashic record. That's where everything is stored. Everything's stored in our hearts. So all our lessons and everything, that's where it's actually stored. And then from this experience, from me going into the Akashic records and bringing this information back to Earth to share with the world, saying like, don't worry, there's a divine plan and all this. So from this experience, from this book, I'm actually starting to write a book with my wife, Linda. She's from Sweden. So we're putting together our book, and then we're putting together a whole project, which we're calling a Project Utopia 2025, because we're gonna be launching it next year. And the whole thing that we basically want to do is, create, help. First of all, it's basically writing about the future of like how we're gonna get to utopia, right? And then we're gonna talk about try to help people understand like what's happening in the world right now. Everything that's happening now, basically, it's just because it's the divine plan and it's all the systems collapsing and everything. We want to help people. We want to help the world understand that from a higher perspective, right? Like oh, it's okay, like everything that's happening is actually it's a good thing, right? So we want to teach people and tell people that that everything we're going through right now is actually it's a good thing, so it's just part of the divine plan. So that just to help people see it from a higher perspective. And then we also want to get everybody involved. I think that's the main thing, that we want to create this platform where everyone gets involved, because a lot of people are thinking like, oh my God, we've gone through this crazy, era or all this collapse of wars and all these things. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, so I think we're like catalysts to help the world in that sense. It's like to bring everybody together, right? So our mission is to sort of create this social platform where we bring different projects, different ideas, in politics, in economics, in the job force, in healthcare. So sort of like everybody to come together so that everybody can contribute with different ideas and different projects. So how, but in politics we can create a better system, because the old system is not efficient anymore, right? So then we can maybe create a better system that has different parties that are, helping each other, or we can create a better system for in economics that is blockchain, and that is, maybe universal income that is, integrated for everyone, and artificial intelligence helping people. So basically, we want to get everybody involved. So instead of being all panicked or worried that, like, oh my God, this is happening, we're coming to the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of 3D. So then we need to create the new system in 4D. So, which is like unity consciousness. So that's our goal with our Project Utopia 2025 that we're launching next year. And then also we want to be able to provide webinars to help people, with we understand that, how can we also get to this utopia state? Well, as we all have to change within, right? And that's really the only way. So as we heal ourselves, I was able to help people heal. And then from shifting people's consciousness from hate to love, then if people heal within in those wounds that people have, then that's how the world's going to change, So then we're going to be teaching webinars as well to help people to be able to heal, and then to be able to, to make those choices in life. Then we all want to help, and then so that's kind of like a little bit that, as far as like with the Akashic records, that I'm bringing back this information, this wisdom from the record keepers that gave me that is my mission, to share with the world, and to get everybody to tell everybody not to worry. I think that's the main thing, that it's okay, that it's the collapse of the systems, because as we are entering the fourth dimension as a collective, that's what's really happening. It's just like, there it's not about size anymore, because all these things with size, like, whatever is different parties, whatever that people are going through, is because it's all coming to the surface. But at the end, it's not even us. We're one, so we're going from a division consciousness to a unity consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going to happen. So as the systems collapse, then it's going to be like new system, but new systems based for the collective or for unity. So that's really where we're heading. So this is going to be a time for healing for the collective. And as we heal and as things come out with all the corruption and everything, then it's like, okay, then we're going to create a new system that are based on these pillars of compassion and integrity, um, and transparency. So that's basically kind of like where we're heading with in the future, for the world. So 2025, that that's going to be like a lot of revelations coming out. I could say, like, if you want, like, just saying, like, yeah, it's gonna, like, next year is the beginning of the age of trials, if you want me to call it that. But basically, yeah, so like the predictions, what I have is that actually it's more for next year, for 2025. So 2025 will be the beginning of the age of trials, basically. It's the beginning of the system being like all the truth coming out, being revealed. So that's what's happening. That's what's good. We're going to go through next year. So 2025. Yeah, it's coming up to the surface. So everything's coming up to the surface. Because before there was all this corruption and all these things were happening behind the scenes. It's always hidden, right? So since we're ascending in consciousness, our frequency is ascending, then basically this whole frequency is bringing everything to the surface. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's inevitable. Like, there's no way to stop it. Like, even nothing can stop it. Like, and that's why now, starting here in the U.S., I'm not about any sides. I'm about truth. That's it, and integrity. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but that, even this candidate Trump, he's kind of going to be the one revealing a lot of it. It's just what it is. But it's like, but at the end, it's like, there's going to be, like, the truth about, who knows, 9/11, or, COVID, or just different things, different, not just within, like, different institutions. Like, there's going to be a lot of the classified files from CIA and FBI. They're going to, yeah, they're going to release a lot of those files, like Kennedy. So the truth is going to come out. So we're going to go through this. So 2025 is the catalyst for truth. You see what I'm saying? So that's really what is going to happen. So, and then as this truth comes out next year, this is coming out. So then it's gonna go to a lot. There's gonna be a lot of trials as well. But at the end, it's okay, right? Because you wanna hold accountable people for their actions, and then the people are gonna demand about, everyone's gonna say, nobody's gonna believe that, like, like, oh my God, the government really did that, like, the people are gonna be like, it's off. But at the end, it's okay, then at the end, it's like, okay, well, then let's create new institutions, because I saw a new institution being created. So I don't know the name, but I'm giving it different, like Universal Council Committee, this name that I just came up with. But it's going to be a new body, kind of like the United Nations. But this Universal Council Committee, basically, it'll create universal laws for the whole planet, so that everyone in the world is gonna abide by these universal laws. So this universal kind of, so basically, it could be like nuclear weapons. This is gonna come to an end, like all these wars and everything. This is the end of it. So then this new organization is gonna create new laws where, like, okay, no more nuclear weapons, and then there's gonna be a lot of women leaders. I saw too, like in Russia and here in the United States later after this election, after this presidency, there's gonna be a lot of women all over the world, being leaders, and then the women are gonna shift it too. They're gonna be, okay, no more of these wars, and no more. There's no need for that. So then that's when, basically they're gonna start changing everything, right? So then it's like, okay, then let's create new systems, right? And then with all the technology, with blockchain and artificial intelligence, it's come to help us tremendously, right? Because it's going to create systems of transparency, So that's one of the things that I love about blockchain and artificial intelligence, that it's all going to lead towards creating a system of transparency, and there's going to be all connected, and so then governments are not going to be able to have, just have corruption anymore. And it's going to create a system to help humanity. And then that's when we're going to have, universal income. Also, is going to be like, that's going to be a part of the Universal Council Committee. That's going to be for the whole world, like universal council, universal income for everyone in the world. So there's going to be different laws they're going to be created for the world. So no more nuclear weapons. There's going to be universal income for everyone. Um, that everybody's gonna get to vote. Like, there's gonna be like, everyone in the world is gonna vote. Like I wanna create an app too with my wife. I wanna create different apps. So if anybody out there, creating apps, please contact me. And but there's gonna be a lot of apps that are gonna be able to, for people can vote, on different just different things, like let the people vote, right? Like don't let politicians make decisions for the world. It's like let the people vote for so it's all leading towards that. It's all leading towards, once the system kind of, all the revelations come out, then it's like, okay, let's create a new system for the collective. It's all going to be for the collective. There's going to be, and then, eventually, like, yeah, again, and then that's all going to lead to the, like I mentioned, the American Union. I saw that too, that they're going to create that, Mexico, US, and Canada, they're going to create the American Union. And then eventually there's going to be like a Native American president woman here in the U.S. and then they're going to create all of American Union and or I mean it's going to be a process. It's not going to be from one day to the next, but instead of all the governments putting all the money in military, it's like let's put all the money in third world countries so that they can develop, right? Because like people that come from third world countries, and I'm from Mexico, so people that come from the, if there was money for the infrastructure of the countries, people wouldn't leave their homelands, right? I mean, why would you leave all your family and all your loved ones behind? Like it's just people wouldn't do it. Like I mean, if there was money in the infrastructure, but everybody will thrive, So that's where we're heading to. So then instead of putting all the money in military, all the government, it's going to be all the money is going to go for the people, so that everybody can thrive. So and so that's what I saw, and that's part of our mission too with me and my wife, and that we want to create to be able to put out this platform for all the young people that are maybe they want to go to school and study politics, and it's like how can you create a better system, right? Like because systems are about to collapse, so then let's create a better system for the world. So I haven't seen anything in particular as far as in this month, but all I know is that yeah, maybe I mean, I would think that it's going to be until Trump is into office, but what I know is like he's going to start declassifying, you know, it, files. So that's going to be pretty big, like so. I mean, all I know that the government's next year, like in next month. I mean, in yeah, January, I guess, they're going to start declassifying that. I mean, from what I see, but and everything that's happening now, it'll just be it'll be a preparation for what comes next, right? So, maybe, so yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen anything that's gonna come in the next 3 weeks, but all I know is that yeah, starting next year, January, they're gonna declassify a lot of information, within the government, and that's gonna be a domino effect as well, right? So once you take out stuff, then declassify anything, but it's like the whole domino effect. So, but yeah, but it's all leading towards this, revelations. We're in the age of revelations, so that's really what it is, and the age of truth. Aquarius too, I think, right? The age of Aquarius is the age of truth, and the age of strength, right? So it's just like we're going to this era where it's, everything's going to be revealed and everything's moving forward, right? So yeah, I mean that's basically where we're heading to. So like it's gonna be for me it's like to tell the world is like yeah, don't worry about anything. Like it's not the end of the world. It's the end of the 3D world, yes, but it's the 3D game. So be grateful. Like everybody should just celebrate. Like oh my God, finally this is coming to an end. Finally this game of duality of hatred, of division, of of cultures and religions and corruption and greed and all this, like this is really coming to an end. Yes, it is coming to an end, but the system, the game, not that we're coming, like that humanity is not coming to an end. It's just the game, the 3D game. So then as it comes, as it all everything becomes revealed, then we can enter the new game, which is the fourth dimension, right? So so then I would just tell the world like, no, celebrate, rejoice, like this is a time, this is an incredible time, like be crazy, like don't, it's not about size anymore, too. Like we're fighting duality, but it's because it's fighting itself, but at the end it's like overcoming that duality, and then you come to realize that we're one. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about size, like, oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm this, I'm no, we're one anyway. So this is all coming to an end. So so I would just say, for everybody to hold on and just, be ready. There's going to be a lot of revelations coming up. So, but that's a good thing, that's a good thing. And then from there, we can then, right, create, a better system. And, I would, 2020, next year with me and my wife, Linda, we're launching Project Utopia 2025. And, we'll be really, that's like our mission, to help humanity get to that level. And then we want to do a lot of courses and webinars and create this social platform later on too, where people can come together and create a better world, and teach about the higher perspective of everything that's happening. So yeah, I think that's one of the main things that that I feel like that's what I'm here for as well, is just to share these messages with the world that it's beautiful magical times coming, and this is the end of the wars and all these things. This is coming to an end. So it's not that we're gonna blow ourselves up anymore. It's more like this is coming to an end. Like it's coming to the boiling point where then later on, when the woman, like within the next 4 years, like when women leaders are coming in, they're the ones that are gonna be like, this is enough. We don't need no more wars. We don't need no more nuclear weapons. Like there's enough money to be shared for the world. So that's where we're heading. So I would say just for everybody just to heal them, work on themselves, like that's the other thing too, right? Like if you work on yourself and if you try to look everything from a higher perspective, a positive perspective, then you're feeling positive energy and believe that we can change, right? Like, like believe that we can create utopia, believe that we can all get to this place of peace and a harmony, but it does really start within ourselves, like you gotta we all have to do the work. So as we all do the work, as we all heal, as we forgive, of course, like the Council of Light, the main things that they told me was the most difficult lessons is the forgiveness, right? So you have to forgive, and we have to let go, and we have to, let go of attachments and things that, that make us suffering. That we have to let go of all that, and then ultimately, yeah, it's about unity consciousness. We're one, there is no division, right? So that's where we're heading, and then there's going to be a lot of leaders too, like, like religious leaders saying like, yeah, we're one. And so it's all leading to this one unity consciousness that humanity is heading to. So, and then I basically, as I experienced the 12 dimensions, I was able to, briefly explain them right now, but I came to understand that dimension one of game one, it's the quantum realm. So then you experience yourself as a quantum, as an atom, basically. You see yourself as an atom in the quantum realm. So then that's one experience or one game, right? And then dimension two, it's like the microorganisms and the animals and plants. So then that's the next realm or next dimension of then you experience yourself as different animals and plants, and then again it's just for the experience, right? So then that's dimension two. And then dimension three, that's basically that's where we're now. We're like in the human, linear time, and there's a human experience, and we die, we grow old, and all these experiences. So this is the third dimension, and then the fourth dimension. That's actually where we are actually heading now as a collective, ourselves, everyone. So we're entering now the fourth dimension. This is a new game. So as we enter this fourth dimension, the fourth dimension basically it's a realm of transparency, integrity, and compassion. So those are the pillars of the fourth dimension. And then there's other concepts as well that are in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is time, right? But this is where basically also where string theory becomes a new reality. So we're about to enter a new era where string theory is about to be proven scientifically, right, with quantum mechanics. So as it gets proven scientifically, then basically it's like the new reality. Our Earth was it's round. Well, now we know we're six. It exists in a matrix of different dimensions. So that will become the new reality. Very soon. I think within the next 5-10 years, like that's like it'll be proven. So like oh my God, so then not everybody knows that yeah we're living in different dimensions. So that will become the new reality. And then parallel universe theory, that's another theory that's going to become the new reality as well. Like, yeah, we're living all these lives in parallel universes. So then that we're multidimensional, right? So then that's going to be the new reality, the fourth dimension reality. And then also the simulation theory. That's another theory that basically it'll be proven scientifically that, yeah, we are actually living in a simulation. So this is the fourth dimension, right? And then the fifth dimension, that's kind of like the avatar dimension where you become an ascended master, and then that's when basically when you can start incarnating in different planets, different civilizations, and such as like the Lyrians and the Palladians and the Arcturians. Those are beings, fifth dimensional beings that are basically that have all these higher abilities and that are and then there's like levels within each dimension, right? So maybe some of those beings then they start becoming very multidimensional and then they start having access to different communicating with different star systems, communicate they can start communicating with planets, with galaxies and just different things. And then the sixth dimension is basically that's more the creator. Well, that's kind of like you start creating planets. So the sixth dimension for me it's the creator of planets dimension. So and I became a being, a six dimensional being in my experience. So as I became a six dimensional being, I started creating planets. So I kind of understood a little more how planets are created, but which was basically you create the whole divine plan of the planet. You create an algorithm of ascension for all beings within your construct of your planet, and then from there, you create the grids. The planet has different lead lines or grids, and then there's different symbols or matrix symbols that kind of like a computer program. And then you can start creating, you can start put up, creating the whole matrix of the planets and all life forms and everything. So that's the sixth dimension. And then the seventh dimension, that's the creator of stars. And then the eighth dimension is the creator of galaxies. And then the ninth dimension is the creator of the universe. And then the 10th dimension is the creator of the multiverse. And then the 11th dimension was the source. And then the 12th was like beyond source, where you need other sources. So yeah, that's sort of like the experience that I had. And then after that, I was taken to the Akashic records. So then the bees told me, okay, these are the Akashic. You can go over here now. And then I went into the Akashic records. And as I went into the Akashic records, there's like columns of light of energy that went, that basically, and there were beings from all over the universe, like taking their books and different books. And then as I entered the Akashic records, one of the record keepers grabbed the book and gave me a book. And then as I opened the book, it was like the picture. There was a picture of the Earth, and then there was like, and as I opened the book, and it said the divine plan of the Earth, the book. And as I opened it, I was able to see the future or the divine plan for the planet. And as I saw the divine plan of the planet, I was able to see the future. So then I saw that the systems were going to be collapsing. Basically, is that we're entering the fourth dimension, and that basically, we're going to enter. Right now, we're going to enter an era which is in the future it will be known as the age of trials. Well, there will be a lot of trials, and for corporations, politicians, and different institutions. So there's going to be a lot of that, where there's going to be all these trials, and then so all the corruption is going to come out from all the governments, and then once all that comes out with all the all the corruption stuff, but then also then all the good things are going to come out too as well. So because then there's a lot of advancements in technology and for medical, like to there's as far as like there's already cure for cancer, and or we can age much less, or we can live longer. There's a lot of technology that's going to be coming out too that basically will be able to help us ascend to the next dimension, to the fourth dimension. And then I saw that basically they were going to create unions later. So once the systems collapse, though, then they're going to create new systems. That's the whole thing. So I would say, for everybody out there, like, it's like, for not to worry, because everything I know that a lot of people out there are worry about everything that's happening in politics and the news and with the wars and with all the politicians and all this stuff. But I need everybody needs to understand that this is actually it's because it's the collapse of the old system that has been suppressing us, that has been lying to us in a way, and has been controlling the people. So that's going to come to an end. And basically, once this comes to an end, then basically then that's why then there's going to be the new systems they're going to be integrating. So and then so from so then I was able to see that they were going to create unions as well. So then they're going to create the American Union. Eventually all the countries are going to come together, and then they're going to create the African Union, they're going to create the Asian Union, and they're going to create the Arabic Union. And then basically that we're heading to a utopia. That's there is a divine plan for humanity to reach